Hello, viewers, and welcome back to another episode of Mr. J's Big Book of Movies, where I, Mr. J, is on a quest to find the best movies in the land to put in my Big Book of Movies. What is the Big Book of Movies? The Big Book of Movies is a personal collection of movies I think should be held in my hands, in my book, and appreciated for what they're worth. What does it take to get into the Big Book? I still don't know, but that's the point of this show, to see which movies stand up to the challenge to get into the Big Book of Movies. Today's movie, we're talking about Campy. This is one of the most awful movies I've ever seen, but will it keep it from getting into the Big Book? Yeah, we're talking about Thinner. Thinner was released October 25th, 1996. It was directed by Tom Holland and was adapted from the Stephen King novel of the same name. Now, Stephen King is actually in this movie, and unlike one of my other favorite movies, The Shining, Stephen King actually enjoyed this movie. Clocking in at 15% on Rotten Tomatoes. We're here to find out if Thinner is that bad. Should it be seen? Should it be watched? And can it make it into the Big Book of Movies? So without further ado, let's get things started. Starting off with the Rewatch Factor, this movie I gave a 3. This is a perfect TV movie. It actually looks like a TV movie, but this movie was released in theaters. It really does look like one of those movies that you see at, 11:15 at night on Showtime. It looks really bad, but it's a lot of fun, and I think the campiness of it and how ridiculous it is what made the movie really fun to watch. When it comes to the storyline, I actually gave it a 2. It takes too long. To get to the conclusion, it takes way too long. And, with the whole affair part and Dr. Mikey, I was wondering whether or not part of the curse was paranoia. And it was never really officially tied in whether or not the wife was having an affair or not. I kind of wish that it was paranoia that was part of the curse. I don't know. That was never really said, given a good tie about it. So I didn't like that. And also, the daughter had eaten the pie at the end. So you didn't get to see what happened to her. And he kissed his wife and got the pie in his mouth. So was he going to die? Is everyone is going to die at the end, And of course, the ending of the movie was very obvious. But I never saw this movie before, and I knew that the conclusion, the daughter was going to be eating the pie. But I didn't think the wife was going to. So, because of what happened with the whole shooting up of the gypsy town camp, whatever you want to call it, and how I don't know, it was too much. It got too much campiness and all. It just got drawn out. Characters are 2. No Oscars being handed out here. I like how over the top they were. The main character didn't need to look as creepy as he did all the time. And the characters that were cursed, they had really goofy makeup and looked terrible. But the acting itself was very one-dimensional. I don't think anybody's character changed from the beginning of the movie to the end of the movie. They physically changed, but I feel everyone's character was the same from the beginning of the movie to the end of the movie. So there was zero character development, which led me to the score of characters receiving a 2. Appearance-wise, there was a very low budget for this movie, it felt. And it feels like it was on a, what do they call it, a shoestring budget? Is that the term? I don't know. But it looks budget. It feels budget. I think it was budget. And, yeah, it got a 2 for appearance. Last but not least, enjoyment, it gets a 5. This movie is just ridiculous. It's just over the top for no reason at all. I mean, from how he hit the lady, when the lady was hit, how she rolled over, the acid being thrown in the face, and you find out that it was soda, being chased by a slingshot, shooting up with a semi-automatic weapon, a whole gypsy camp, the fact that they were gypsies. I mean, how racist is that? It's just totally ridiculous, and I appreciated it because they were trying to be serious. I believe, and I'll always believe that they try to make a real movie, but how ridiculous this is, maybe I just have the sense of humor that actually gave it the, and I hate saying this, benefit of the doubt. I don't even think it was a benefit of the doubt. I just think it's ridiculous enough for me to appreciate. I just think it's that simple. And with that, I give enjoyment a 5. As we know, this is the best time of the show because the categories equal the score and the score equals a grade. We're going to grade this movie and see if it gets into the big book. First of all, we have the Rewatch Factor coming in at a 3. The storyline, the characters, and the appearance all coming in at a 2-point value each. And in the end, the enjoyment is a 5. The total score is a 14, and the grade is a C. A C movie, wow. Will this movie be able to get into the big book of movies? Hell yeah, it does, because it's fucking ridiculous. That's why I'm going to remember this movie all the time, because it's ridiculous. There's no point for this movie. This movie did need to be made, and I'm glad it was, so I can laugh at it every single time it's on and tell everyone how ridiculous it is. And that's what I gotta say. Thanks for tuning in. Don't forget you can follow me anytime, anywhere on Twitter at I4Eye, spelled just like the show. Our Facebook fan page at I4Mr. Email me anytime, anywhere, MWS_216 at yahoo.com. Comment, leave suggestions, have some movies for me. Let me know what to do, what can I do, what I need to do better, what I need to stop doing. And without further ado, I'm going to say one last thing. As far as I'm concerned, this chapter is now closed.